Ifrei, the singer, the storyteller, who resides in the now.
My husband, Ninglanel, went for a walk yesterday morning. Said he wanted to get away from the squabbling at Eldenroot. He hasn't come back. I went looking for him this morning with our dog, and now my dog has wandered off. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. The last place I saw our dog eat was near the fork in the road that leads to Cormount, just west of here. Take this whistle. Use it when you get to the fork in the road. I'll wait here in case he comes home.
Don't lie, Catman. I saw you eat that flower. I can't let you harm this forest without penance. The Green Pact demands that you pay for your indiscretions.
But this Khajiit loves to eat flowers. You're insane. Put that axe away. I have done nothing wrong.
The plants and the trees are sacred to the Bosmer. All true Bosmer, at any rate. I demand retribution for the flower you slaughtered and devoured.
Someone help! You there! Please! Talk some sense into that elf! He's a lunatic! Please, talk some sense into that wood elf. I don't know anything about the Green Pact that he's talking about. I've been eating flowers my whole life. They're delectable.
This Khajiit thinks he can walk into this forest and kill and maim at his leisure. He may not follow the Green Pact, but I do. And I'll have him learn respect for the flowers and the trees before this day is done. It's always a misunderstanding. Do you know how many buffoons stumble into this place to tear up flowers and kick the trees? Damn it, the fool isn't worth it. Wasn't going to hurt him anyway, just scare him a little. Sorry, Cat. I let my anger get to me.
I understand. One time my brother, under the influence of skooma, also attacked me. Luckily, he could not climb trees in that state. Though it was humorous to see him try. Thank you for soothing that wood elf's temper. He would have taken a hand, an arm, or worse, if you hadn't come along.
Ironic. Huh. We come back to my homeland and I'm the one that falls into a ravine. I used to scale these rocks like they were stairs. I guess none of us are immune to the ravages of time. Just give me a second and I'll head back home. I knew Eat wouldn't leave me here to rot. Ms. Zahabi will be worried sick. Thank you.
Ready to ride.
Nice. What did you find?
Get back, fiends.
Hey, over here. Oh, thank Ifre. I wasn't sure I would find anyone out here. My village needs help. The forest has turned against us. I don't know how else to describe it. Spriggans and Sench just started tearing through our village in numbers. We've had to take refuge in the sacred cave where we hold our religious ceremonies. Trethane Roland sent me to look for outside help. I don't know what he intends. He said something about a horrible crime. I think he thinks the forest is trying to exact justice for something. He's in the sacred cave with the others.
When I was a kid, on cold nights, I used to curl up by the fire in the Castle Navir main hall. I'd sit there with a book and fall asleep over the pages. Simpler times, eh? Here we go. That could be helpful. Good quality there.
We're in this together.
Buy a lady a drink at the next inn? Another find for your pack.
I can't tell you how glad I am you're here. Something is horribly amiss, and we can't leave this cave without fearing for our lives until it's put right. We are followers of the Green Pact, pledged to protect the forest from all harm. In exchange, the forest shapes itself to our needs. But now the forest has turned against us, stirring the Sench to attack us and driving us into hiding. Only a gross violation of the Green Pact could cause the forest to attack us in this way. My suspicions were confirmed when we entered this cave. We found the sacred blossom, Sanguine Alendo, cut from its stem. No wonder the forest is angry. The requirements for correcting a violation of the Green Pact are well established. 3 kinds of proof are required for judgment: witness testimony, physical evidence, and a magical omen. Without all 3, no judgment can be rendered. I've been able to narrow the suspects by talking to the villagers, but to gather more evidence we'd need to leave this cave. For as long as justice is denied under the Green Pact, the forest will destroy any of us who set foot outside this cave. You have my gratitude. There are 3 suspects whose behavior has been called into question. Arlanak, the Khajiit merchant, Spinner Eranas, and his wife Gathiel. I suggest talking to my people to find possible witness testimony before venturing into the town.
So Trethane Roland wants you to investigate the violation of the Green Pact. I don't see what there is to investigate. The culprit is plain enough, but I'm happy to help. Ask what you want, but I think it's obvious who did it. That Khajiit has always held our traditions in contempt. The night the Green Pact was broken, there was a terrible storm. I was sitting by the window, watching the lightning. That's when I saw that filthy cat sneak off into the woods towards the cave. I will happily testify against him. Spinner Aranas is our guiding light. He helped heal my cousin when she got sick, and has always been a staunch defender of the Green Pact. It's offensive he's even under suspicion. Gathiel has her moments of ego, but she's a loyal member of this community. We were all praying for her during her recent illness, and were thrilled at her recovery. I don't think she's capable of this crime.
I heard you've been made Pact Advocate. Is this true? I want to help in any way I can. The Green Pact is sacred, and the person who broke it must be brought to justice. Anything to fix this. Aranak's been in our town for years. Why would he suddenly decide to do this? Besides, the Pact is a special bond between the Wood Elves and the Forest. I don't think the Forest would react this way if Aranak were guilty. Aranis is a good man. He's the village spinner, so it's his job to pass on the stories of the Wood Elves and the Green. I learned about the Green Pact from his stories when I was a child. He would never endanger the village, or break the Pact. A real piece of work. Always scheming, that one is. Spinner's wife or not, I'm sure she's guilty. She's been sick for weeks and just happens to get better the night the Pact was broken? I'd testify against her in a heartbeat.
So Trethane Roland has you looking into the destruction of the sacred flower. I hope you understand this isn't just about a plant. The Green Pact defines us. Our whole way of life is based on it. I hope you take the investigation seriously. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, but I can tell you already that it was our spinner. He's an alchemist. He makes unnatural concoctions with plants. He claims to never use anything forbidden, but everyone knows that alchemists need lots of herbs to do their work. I am willing to testify against him for bringing this down on us. That merchant is harmless. He only gets what people ask him to acquire, and I've never seen him harm a leaf. If it weren't for him, we'd be cut off from the rest of the world entirely. I won't stand any bad-mouthing of Gathiel. Sure, she's married to that alchemist, but she's nothing like him, rooting around in the dirt for dead leaves. The way she carries herself, her beauty, her refinement, she would never stoop so low.
Please, it wasn't me. How could it be me? I am a Khajiit. Only wood elves can break the Green Pact. I was out in the storm trying to clear away fallen branches and protect my cart. For all the good it did. Please, it wasn't me. How could it be me? I am a Khajiit. Only wood elves can break.
It's truly terrible what has come upon the village, but I promise I'm not the one responsible. It's my duty as spinner to teach the children about the Green Pact. I would never violate it. Alchemy is not a common practice among wood elves, so it's understandable that there's some confusion. The only plant material I've ever used were leaves and flowers that naturally fell to the ground, as per our laws. It's truly terrible what has come upon the village, but I promise I'm not the one responsible. It's my duty.
I would never violate the Green Pact. I've lived by it all my life. It is unthinkable. I was sick, yes, but my husband and I prayed to Ifre, and she saw fit to heal me. I suppose to a jealous eye it could look suspicious, but it's not evidence of guilt. On the contrary, some might say Ifre has rewarded our faithfulness. I would never violate the Green Pact. I've lived by it.
Good to see your face again. Looking forward to seeing what you make with that.
We stand ready to hear your findings, Advocate. I encourage you to ask the suspects about any evidence you found before making an accusation. Remember, once you have made an accusation, you must present the supporting evidence as requested. I understand. This is not something to be taken lightly. Return when you have reviewed the physical evidence, witness testimony, and mystical signs. Remember, you can ask the suspects about any evidence you find as well.
Please, it wasn't me. How could it be me? I am a Khajiit. Only wood elves can break the Green Pact. Yes, there was a storm the other night, and storms bring lightning. What does that prove? I should have chosen a better place to keep my car, that is all. Please, it wasn't me. How could it be me? And if I did cut the flower, that does not solve the wood elves' problem. The Green Pact is their custom. I got an anonymous order for a flower and I filled it. I did not know the flower was sacred. The one who placed the order is guilty, not me. Please, it wasn't me. How could it be me?
It's truly terrible what has come upon the village, but I promise I'm not the one responsible. My sigil. It's unfortunate, but there was a fierce storm the other night. What's a tangle of dead branches against a gale like that? That's assuming the storm did it. Someone could have easily destroyed my sigil to make me look guilty. It's truly terrible what has come. I know what it looks like, but I didn't cut that plant. I found it in the forest by the dead tree. It was already cut. I thought it was a gift from Ifrit to cure my wife of a wasting sickness. Please, you must believe me. It's truly terrible what has come upon the village, but I promise I'm not the one.
I would never violate the Green Pact. I've lived by it all my life. It is unthinkable. Why, yes, that is my sign, and the sign of several others in this village. Surely it was shining because I was being blessed with good health after a period of such long sickness. I am still thanking the divines for choosing to spare me. I would never violate the Green Pact. How dare you? You read my most private thoughts and then hold them against me as evidence? Last I heard, thinking was not a crime. So callous. How would you feel if you were dying? Wouldn't you seek a cure? Of course I looked for something that would help, but in the end it took faithful prayer and nothing else. I would never violate the Green Pact. I've lived by it all my life.
We stand ready to hear your findings, Advocate. Remember, once you have made an accusation, if you are truly ready, please name the accused. You have formally accused Gathiel, the wife of our spinner, of breaking the Green Pact. Who do you have to stand in testimony against the accused? Citizen, please step forth as accuser. Advocate, what physical evidence do you have to present to us? We accept this diary into evidence. Please place it on the table. Please present the final piece of evidence, an omen from the heavens portending the guilt of the accused. We accept this astrology chart into evidence. Please place it on the table. Please allow me a moment to review the evidence you have presented, Advocate. After a careful review of the evidence provided to this court, I find the spinner's wife, Gathiel, guilty as charged.
I'm sorry. I'm so
Advocate,
sorry.
we have asked much of you in this terrible
I was
affair, but
afraid
I
to
must
die.
rely upon you for one final sacred task. Please escort the prisoner to the judgment chamber below.
This isn't real. This is all a bad dream. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. I didn't have a choice. It was just one plant. I would have died otherwise.
Blood for blood. It is done.
It is done. It is done. It is done.
You have done what we could not. You have restored us to the Green Pact. All is right, even if all is not yet well. Thank you. Gathiel was the gem of our village. It's still hard to believe, but who could blame her for wanting a cure to her illness? The Green Pact is a harsh burden sometimes. Still, we are grateful to you. You're welcome here anytime.
could be helpful.
Get back, fiends!
Approach, mortal. Mortal, you stand above the sealed ruins of Laeloria. Within is a gateway to Cold Harbor, where my priestess, Kulanway, suffers at the hands of Molag Bal. Her pain is so great, it has torn a hole between worlds. This injustice must end. I am the Daedric, Prince of Dawn and Dusk, who weeps for Kulanway's suffering. I am the Mother of the Rose, who sealed Laeloria away from your world. I am Azura, mortal, and I would have you end Kulanway's endless torment. Long ago, the wizard Vastari came to Laeloria. She sought to end Kulanway's suffering, but Vastari failed and was lost. Go to Vastari's tower, retrace her path into Laeloria, and mortal, set Kulanway's bones to rest. Vastari kept careful records of her struggle to pierce Laeloria's seal. They remained scattered in her tower. Find them, use them to breach the seal and recover Kulanway. A powerful wizard who built the tower behind you. She studied Laeloria for years, always patient, until finally she found a way through. But despite her preparations, Molag Bal's servants overwhelmed her companions. She was forever lost. Laeloria is the mouth of a bottle that floats through Cold Harbor. My seal is the cork. Should I release the seal, Molag Bal's servants will pour into Laeloria until they have nowhere else to go but here. Vistari found a way to slip past the seal, as must you. Kulanway was the most beloved of my servants. Her voice bent the world to her will, yet she used her power for selfless works until she was taken to Cold Harbor. Molag Bal made her song of pain last millennia, but in his distraction, you will recover her.
That's the end of that tale.
again? I mean, yes, mortal? Greetings, outsider. As the will of my prince is eternal, I heed your call. Azura. You know of Azura, don't you? Irai the Fleet, she named me. But that was long ago. This shriveled vessel is but a shadow of my former glory. My wings ache to soar the skies of oblivion once more. The Starry pierced the seal with a relic known as the Twilight Heart. It still stands before the gates of Laeloria, bereft of magical energies. You'll need to feed it souls, and with all these Daedra about, you'll have your pick. The wizard Vastari kept quite the stock of sigil geodes, which I suppose should do. There are still some around. I can smell them from here. Of course, she was the last to summon me. Together we opened the ruins of Laeloria. She ventured in with her noble companions. I watched them die in a flood of Daedra. It was all I could do to escape and seal the ruin, Vastari's final command. Ignoring the fact that my prince's unbreakable will compels me to open the way to Laeloria, despite the unspeakably bloody terror to greet you on the other side. You could be Molag Bal himself for all I know. I'd still help you open the door, Lord of Brutality or not. You aren't him, are you? No, you're not. Not enough horns. And you don't smell of rotten meat. Molag Bal has terrible hygiene. Even a scamp knows that. Try waiting in a rock until someone calls your name. Then watch them reduced to a smear of viscera the moment you do what they've asked you to do. You try to find joy where you can. The joy of aiding another, of course. Quite simple to use. Pointed at the Daedra you want to absorb, and the sigil geode does the rest.
Well. That was it, right? Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yes, that's it! The Twilight Heart thirsts for souls! And if I twist just so... the power! I'd forgotten how it feels! Follow, outsider. Come see my prince's glorious domain.
Good quality there.
Yes, Irai, despite your efforts.
My prince's children were legion. They should have overwhelmed you.
Molag Baal's chattel are nothing to me.
Blasphemy!
Stranger, if you're a foe to Molag Baal, stand with me.
Fools! I'll feast upon your eyes! No! You won't defeat me again!
You've nowhere to fly, fiend. You can't escape me.
You won't escape! You'll die in here like the others!
The sigil geode? Do you still have it? Touching the sigil geode to Irai's forehead will absorb her soul. It's the only way we'll ever leave this place. If she dies outside of that stone, we'll spend the next century counting the tiles in this place. I noted 32,708, but you're welcome to check my figures. In the depths of this ruin is a portal leading straight to Cold Harbor. We can only close it from the other side. Once in Cold Harbor, we'll have no hope of escape unless Irai is inside that stone. Quickly! I can't keep this up for long.
It doesn't matter what you do to me. You'll be dead or trapped for 1,000 years. Molag Bal is my prince, you fool! I let Vistari believe I was Azura's servant, just as I let you believe. I led you into Cold Harbor's grasp, morsels for the god of schemes to pick from between his teeth.
At last, after all these years. I'm not one to hope any creature suffers, but with Irai, I'll make an exception. She can spend eternity in the sigil geode for all I care. Irai is bound to her tablet. While she's within the sigil geode, we can use her as a tether to escape from Cold Harbor. If I hadn't been so quick to destroy her those years ago, my companions would still be alive. Come, we should retrieve Kulanwe. At the base of these ruins is the hole her torment tears between worlds. But the moment we enter, Molag Bal's servants are likely to sense our presence. I'd have long ago made the attempt myself, if I had anywhere to flee. We must find Kulanwe and free her from whatever cruel device causes her so much pain. Doing so should end her torment. When she no longer cries out, the rift between Cold Harbor and Laeloria should close, I hope. I kept this library clear of Daedra, but the chambers beyond are home to a variety of the creatures. It may be best to avoid them.
Stendar, bar that thing from a swift return. Nobody's going to believe this story.
Can you feel her suffering, her agony? For 1,000 years, her pain tunneled through the void, always reaching for her last memories of a life free of suffering. No more! Come, we...
Together!
From the altar.
Strike! Now!
Thank you.
We've done it! We freed Kulanway from her torment. Oh, it was worth the wait. Irai brought us both through the seal. It's only fitting she bring us back. I can use the sigil geode to trace her soul back, and then it's a simple matter to open a portal. Are you ready? Then prepare yourself. Departing Cold Harbor is never easy. It is good to stand beneath the sky once more, to feel the breeze upon my skin. And I wouldn't have made it here without you. My home is always open to you, should you care to visit. 88 years, 3 months, 11 days, 13 hours, 7 minutes. All right, I'm showing off. I used a simple spell to mark the time. It was the first thing I did when I realized I was trapped. It's not entirely precise, so I had to guess the minutes. Clear my Tower of Daedra for one. Memorialize my companions who did not return. Organize my effects. Then I'll find out what has transpired in this world since I left. I have some catching up to do. I opened my home to many I met in my travels. A young Redguard swordsman, a scarred wood elf hunter, a Sijic outcast. I can still hear their voices. But that was 90 years ago. Those not killed by the Daedra must have fled. For a time, though I expect my attention shall be drawn elsewhere soon enough. There was something different in Cold Harbor. The air was a little too full, the fires too bright. Molag Baal's Corner of Oblivion holds many secrets. I plundered several from his halls a lifetime ago. Did you know? I did it to impress a boy. What a fool I was. Telegar. A powerful mage. Brilliant. Always focused upon his work. Hardly striking, though such things never mattered to me. It took my escapade in Cold Harbor to convince him there were adventurous women outside of his books. But that was long ago. I have. Why do you ask? Then you know the tale it tells. Did you find anything else? I hoped that wretched thing would fade away. It was a pale shadow of my son, nothing more. Kalian died so long ago, but my husband couldn't put him to rest. You didn't meet my husband, did you? That makes no sense. An animated shade would have no desire to escape. It would only approximate reason. Tell me, why did it want to escape? Reason, fear, a sense of self-preservation. No, what have I done? You met Kalian's true spirit. I spurned it, him, as a mockery of my son's memory. Forgive me. I will set this right, but I don't care to speak of it right now.